G'day, g'day, g'day. This is Charlie, and I'm coming to you today from my locals community with your daily dose of business inspiration. Come on over and join me at askcharlieleetham.locals.com. You can join the community for free, or you can become a supporter for $2 US per month. Supporters get access to supporters only content. You are able to start your own conversations. And I think for me, more importantly, it helps me to keep creating content like this, like my podcasts, like my tutorials. Let's get on with today's daily dose of business inspiration. Maybe not quite as inspirational as some things, but educational. I was thinking about the topic for today, and I think the topic is going to be titled Follow the Scope of Work. Read the scope of work. Yeah, it's a bit of a frustration for me. I work with a lot of subcontractors for myself and for my clients. I actually have to, interact with their subcontractors to help deliver their business, which is fine. I love doing it. I love working with people. I love building teams. I love doing things in teams so that we can be successful. The thing that really frustrates me is when we send out a scope of work and we say, here's what we want. And we've got dot points and it's written out step by step. This we want, this thing we want, this thing we want, this thing we want. The homepage laid out, we want this at the top, this next, this next, this next. And then we get back something and it doesn't look like anything like what we've requested. And then when you go back and you say, that's not what we asked you to do, or that's not what we asked for the quote for, what's happened? It's like, oh, we didn't read that. We just listened to what you said and gave you what we thought you wanted. Or, as has happened with me in a couple of occasions, which kind of really gets on my goat, it's like, we thought you were wrong, so we gave you what we thought you should have. Well, we're the customer. We're paying the money. This is what we want. If you have a different opinion, come back and talk to us about it, but don't just make unilateral decisions as to what you give us in a quote or not. We're asking for specific reasons, for things for a specific reason. Okay, so what is this? So that's the rant that goes with this. But what does that mean to us as business owners? Well, what it means to us as business owners on both sides of this coin. Let's talk about being suppliers and quoting into someone to get a piece of work, or providing services to fix something. It's really, really important that if we get a list of things that a client is asking for or wants us to do, or wants us to quote on, we go through it and we make sure we understand it and we make sure we are doing what they want us to do, whether we agree with what they're doing or not. And here's where I'm actually going to sort of stop it and say, if you fundamentally agree that what a client is doing is wrong and detrimental, and it's not what you would do, and it's actually going to start impinging on your own integrity and your own values, by all means, come back. If you're coming to me, or come as a client, go to your client and say, hey, listen, we actually think this is a bad idea. Can we talk about other ways of doing it that will give you better results, be more cost effective, be more productive, whatever? But go back and ask that question. If the client says, well, yeah, okay, that's fine, but this is what we want, and it still impinges on your integrity and your values, you can decline the work. You don't have to do work that you think is against your own integrity. That's fine, because in the end, it's the client that gets to make the decision. It's the client's money. It's the client's time. It's the client's business. If they want to do something that you think is a mistake, that's entirely on them. However, if you decide that you want to do this work and the client is quite adamant that this is the way they want to do it, then you've just got to do it. You just suck it up. Do it the way they want you to do it, whether you think it's a good idea or not. By all means, in the back end, grumble about it and say this is dumb and silly, or whatever it is you want to do. But deliver what they're asking for. But sorry, I had an original thought and it'll came out at once. If you haven't gone back and said to them, listen, we think there's a better way of doing it, then okay. But if you've gone back and said, we think there's a better way of doing it, and they've said, that's fine, but this is the way we want to do it, then there is no other answer for it. You either do it the way they want to do it, or you don't do it. All right, they're the hard words. That's the hard part of it. And this is, me being me, Charlie being Charlie and doing a Charlie and being very hard-nosed and straight-lined about it. There is nothing more frustrating for me than to take the time to put a scope of work together and then get back something that doesn't match that scope of work at all. Not even not even minorly, like at all. Like I listed out a list of things, and then I've got something back that I wanted something that was blue and round, and you've given me something that's green and triangular. Like, there's no correlation between those two things. And either that means you're not reading what I'm giving you, or you're not understanding what I'm giving you. Or, which is probably the worst part, and it's one that I don't normally go to, is that you think I'm so wrong that you're just going to tell me what I need to do anyway. And that to me is arrogance. And I don't like that at all. And I won't deal with people who do that. It'll be like, okay, fine, thank you. We've decided not to do any business with you. That's my opinion. How do you guys feel? I mean, you all run your own businesses. How do you feel when you're on both sides of the coin? If you're the client and you're getting that stuff in, like you've taken the time to do a scope of work and then you start getting things in that don't meet what you're looking for, how do you handle it? How do you feel? What do you do? And if, as a contractor, you're getting scopes of work given to you and you're not quoting against them, is it because you didn't understand what they were saying? Are the scopes of work that poorly written? I mean, I'm not going to say I'm the best at writing scopes of work, but gee, I try hard to make them clear. Gee, I try hard to step them through and say, here's what we've got to do. Here's what I'm looking for. Is it just not clear? Or is it that you think there's a better way of doing it and you're just going to go back and say, hey, this is the way we think you should do it and this is what we're going to quote for? I would love to get some feedback on this because it's a real bugbear for me. I see it a lot when I'm dealing with subcontractors. And it takes an awful lot of time. It takes an awful lot of energy, emotional energy too, because you've got to be in a place to give feedback when you're not in a, I'm so frustrated because I just need to get this job done and I still can't get through that this is what I need done. So what's your feedback? How do you feel on both sides of the coin? What have you found? What works for you? What doesn't work for you? Come on over to Locals, askcharlyleetham.locals.com. Join in the conversation there, or leave comments here if you like. But if you join in the conversation over at Locals, we can actually get a real dialogue going around it, and maybe we can get some resolutions and strategies in place to fix them and deal with them. Not fix them, these things maybe don't ever get fixed, but deal with them and help ourselves cope with them. Remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel, ring the notification bell so you find out when I drop more content. If you can leave a review, please leave a review. It does help. And maybe share this content with someone who will find it useful as well, or who will have an opinion. I'd love to hear your opinions. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.